Well, guys, I've been doing videos for like a year and a half now, and for the first time, I recorded a video with the wrong camera facing me. So I recorded a full 15-minute video, and you guys were looking at the back of my shelf. So this is take number 2. So it's probably gonna be quicker because I got all the random crap out of the way in the first one. So this may be like a 5-minute video. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And I already put the tin away. I had the tin and I showed the camera the tin, but obviously it was the wrong camera. So, but this is Solani 633. It says Virginia Perique. And I'm smoking my little Stanwell Bulldog. And the tin note, because I did a tin note on the other video, tin note's a lot of hay and a little bit of sweetness. I'll also say too that this tin's only about a year old. So I bought it middle of last year, June, July of last year. And it's really good. You know, it's a European style Virginia Perique Flake. So it's real thin. It's how I like it. It's just good stuff. So there's a blend that I'm smoking right now by Cornell and Deal. It's Virginia Perique in Kentucky, and I've smoked probably 10 bowls of it. And I gotta say, I really like it. I'm always looking for that Cornell and Deal blend that I'm gonna go, yep, that's the one. That's the one that they made for me right there. This might be it, or it's at least a strong contender. It reminds me of a European style Virginia Perique, but it's got the Kentucky in it. So, it's still good. I kind of wish it didn't have the Kentucky just so, I could try that, but, it's pretty good. And the cut is really good. The cut is not like most other Cornell and Deal blends. It's, I would say it's like right in between like a normal Cornell and Deal cut and then like a European style ribbon cut. But we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about Solani 633. So because of the tin note, I thought that this was going to be sort of an underwhelming Virginia Perique, but there's just a really nice, rich, peppery note. The Virginias are solid. They're nice and sweet. They're playful. The Perique and the Virginias play well with each other, and with the European produced Virginias and Virginia Periques generally, I feel like they're so interchangeable, and that's not to say like a bad thing that they're all the same, because they're not all the same. They're all similar, not all, but like Capstan, Escudo, Rainer, Heinrichs, Orlet Golden Sliced, Mallard, like they're all very similar. They're not super wide. There is some differences there, Rainer's got like kind of an orangey, honey sort of topping. Escudo's got its thing going on. Capstan's got its thing going on. They all kind of do, sort of different things, but not like so different. And for me, the cut on all those is just spot on. It's just exactly what I want to see. Generally, whether it's a flake or a ribbon cut. With the Solani 633, it's so versatile. With the flake, you can fold it, you can rub it out, you can sort of break it up into like a shag. You can cube it if you wanted to. I mean, you can do anything with it. My preference, I've found while smoking through this tin, is to sort of just take it in my fingers and just sort of like, kind of like break it up into sort of like a ball of shag. Not to where it's like completely rubbed out and sort of all over the place, but sort of like a little ball of shag, and then kind of tease it out a little bit, and then sort of fill my pipe that way. That to me has given the most depth of flavor. So it's been really good. And I think with only a year of age, I think the stuff is super super good. Um, I think with if you were able to let it sit in your cellar for 10 years, I think you'd be very very happy with the results. So because because to me it seems like the Virginias are just really good, high quality. There's a lot of sweet flavor there. There's a little bit of breadiness. There's like a decent amount of depth for a young Virginia. It's not bitey. It's not harsh. It's not cigarette-y. It's just good. And the Perique, the portion of Perique, in my opinion, is pretty much spot on. Just gives you like a real nice pepperiness. It's just a super good, super solid Virginia Perique flake. It's one of those things where like if I couldn't get like Escudo, I'd be very happy with this. If I couldn't get Capstan, I'd be very happy with this. If I couldn't get, this, but I could get Heinrichs, I'd be happy. If I couldn't get, whatever, it's just like, it's kind of good that they're like sort of similar. Like I said, they're not the same, but there's some similarities there. And it's almost like it's kind of a good thing because if you can't get like, these ones, but you can get these ones. You're like, okay, well, I know those are good, and they're kind of like this. They're a little bit different, but they're still good. Um, and sort of the antithesis of that, I've been thinking a lot about um, small batch tobaccos. Cornell and Deal loves to put out small batch stuff. They've put out a couple in the last couple months. I don't really remember exactly. I know they just put one out like a week ago, and I can't really. I know I've kind of talked about it in the past. I might do a full video on it. I'm not really sure. I can't really like wrap my head around whether or not I think it's small batch is a good idea, whether it's a bad idea. I don't know. I mean, part of me is like, you know, part of me is like that's a bad idea, and it's just companies, trying to drum up a whole bunch of hype on a tobacco that or a blend that may or may not be good, and trying to make money. Which I mean, not that I'm not really trying to like fault them for trying to make money. They're a company and they got employees and people got to eat and they got to make their money. But um, I don't know. It's just something about them. It just kind of like doesn't really sit right. But on the other hand, if it gives a certain varietal or a certain farm or whatever the opportunity to make it into a pipe blend that wouldn't normally make it into a pipe blend, and people get to experience that and things like that, then great. So I think I might do another video. I might do a video on it. I might not. But I think if I don't, the Cliff Note version for me is if they're doing a small batch just to drum up marketing interest, just to sell, just to push something out there and sell it super quick and make their money and move on. I'm not a fan. If they are, I'm not a fan in that I wouldn't buy it. You can buy it, they can produce it, sure, whatever. Like I said, free country, they got to make their money. Um, if it's a certain varietal or they want to showcase a certain farm or farmer, whatever, or a certain maybe it's just like a certain batch that's just real special. I think they've done that in the past. um, I'm more okay with that because it's more about like the actual tobacco rather than like the marketing. We sit around. I mean, we're getting products shoved down our throat all day, every day. Whether it's on social media or on TV or in the newspaper. I mean, you know, I can have 10 things in my mailbox and 9 of them are going to be junk mail, you know, and then the one thing that is, it's going to be a bill, and it's like, you know, it's just junk mail. All it is ads and buy this and that, and it's, I don't know, it's just kind of like before we had a lot of the small batch hype craze stuff. um, you know, that kind of thing didn't really exist in pipe smoking, or maybe I just wasn't aware of it, I don't know. But since the small batch stuff, you know, then it's like, you know, I go on my YouTube and I don't hardly even watch YouTube videos anymore, because when I started making videos, I didn't want to watch what people were saying about tobacco. I wanted to have my own opinions on it. But you know, I can't even hardly go on my YouTube now without, you know, when a new small batch comes out, and it's like, holy cow, it's like the first, you know, it's like 4 out of the first 10 videos are like, you know, a new small batch that this guy has, and you know, it's like, you know, he's just lighting it up and he's just telling you how amazing it is. And I'm like, how can you tell? Like, sometimes I'll get through a whole tin of tobacco and I will be like, not confident enough to make a video, you know, sometimes. But we figure it out, we work it out. So I don't know, it's just kind of like my Cliff Note thoughts. I guess not really Cliff Note thoughts. Maybe I'll do another video on small batch, I'm not sure. But for 633, it falls in the same category for me as Capstan, Escudo, Orlick. I'm gonna have it. I'm gonna have some on hand. I'm gonna let it age. I'm gonna see what it turns into, and it's good stuff. It's really good stuff. You know, on that list, you know, things like a scooter are gonna be at the top. You know, if it's like, if I can't, you know, if I had to get rid of, you know, all of them, but then there would be a lifetime world supply of a Scudo forever. You know, would you do it? Yeah, I'd probably do it. But I'd probably do that for a couple of the other ones too. I just don't want to tell. I just don't want to say which ones. um, I think it's good though. I mean, like I said, I'm definitely gonna have it. It's just a real solid, good, solid Virginia Perique. Um, and if it, you know, it seems to be, oh, I hate to say this, seems to be a little bit more accessible than some of the other ones. I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. The way I look at it, if out of, you know, there's 6 or 8 of those blends out there that I consider to be, you know, kind of similar to each other with little differences. You know, the Orlicks, the Escudos, the, you know, Solanis. I mean, I know Orlick doesn't have Perique, or at least it doesn't say it has Perique, but you know, that Virginia Perique, that European made. You know, if there's 6 or 8 of them, and you know, it seems like recently only like, you know, maybe half or even less than half are available at any one time. Like, I don't think I've seen Rainer, Solani, Escudo, Capstan, Orlick, you know, I don't think I've seen like all of those all available from one site at one time, you know. And we don't even talk about esoteric anymore, because that stuff's just never, it's just never available. But anyway, those are my thoughts on Escudo. I think I'm gonna end the video right there, and let me know what you guys think. If you've had it, Solani 633, if you like it, if you think I'm on the right track, or if you think I'm way off base, let me know in the comments. I'm always interested to hear what other people's experiences are, especially when they're super different from mine. The best example I can think of that right now is my opinion on rubber bits. I don't know why, but over the last couple weeks, maybe the YouTube algorithm's been pushing that video out, but I've been getting a couple comments on the rubber bits the last few weeks. So yeah, I definitely appreciate other people's opinions. I obviously have mine, and I'm not going to hide them. So yeah, there you go. Until next time, hope you guys take care, be safe. Adios.